Elsewhere, Attica residents can mark their calendars. A court date has been set for those residents taking on Kraft Foods Global. Tiffany Dismore has the story.
In March 2009, two Attica families filed a class action lawsuit against Kraft Global Foods, stating their homes have long been contaminated by chemicals from a nearby industrial plant owned by Kraft. This month, a judge in Indianapolis granted the class action suit to 130 families whose properties are alleged to be contaminated by the chemicals. All their claims against Kraft will be heard collectively. The court date is set for February 28th, and one of the group's attorneys, Sean Collins, says this is to hold Kraft accountable and get rid of the chemicals for good.
Get the contamination out of the groundwater. Until it's cleaned up, these families are always going to be in harm's way. And then the second thing is until that contamination is cleaned up, these basements, all of them, need to be sealed to keep the contamination out.
Collins says if they win the class action lawsuit, another court date will be set for families to seek compensation. The lawsuit states the chemicals the families say Kraft released and then contaminated the groundwater beneath their homes has turned into vapors containing the dangerous chemicals. Kraft has been working to minimize the amount of chemicals residents are exposed to. Mary Bowles lives on Kentucky Street and says Kraft put in an ultraviolet light system to take chemicals out of the air. She says it doesn't fix the contamination problem and that Kraft didn't notify residents about this until a few years ago.
Tested another home on Summit Street and they found it there too. But all the while they were finding these dangerous chemicals in the air that people breathe in these homes right near the plant, they weren't telling anybody else in this area that they might have a problem.
Residents say they are concerned about the effects the chemicals could have not only on their land values, but also their health. Collins says the chemicals are likely human carcinogens, which can cause cancer. He says there's no way to know if they are in your home.
They are odorless and they are colorless. If they're in your water supply or if they're in the air you breathe in your home, you don't know it.
The federal court rejected Kraft's motion to have this case thrown out of court, stating the company was working to clean up the contamination. Tiffany Dismore, News Channel 18.